Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good day everyone. I am Siti Aina A. Magay from Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English 2A. So today I will be discussing about the nature and purposes of reading. So before anything else, I would like to introduce my learning outcomes for these lessons. At the end of the day, a student should be able to first define reading, second discuss the importance of reading, and third is use and apply the different reading strategies. So, what is reading? Reading is a multifaceted process involving word recognition, comprehension, fluency, and motivation. It is also making meaning from print. Basically, reading is what our eyes perceive and we make meaning about what we saw on the material. It is decoding a symbol for us to create or derive meaning of the text. Reading is not just about reading itself, but also how we capitalize the word, on how we understand the text, on how the text give us the will to continue what we are doing. So there are steps that we involve in reading. First is perception. It is how the reader perceive the written symbols on the text through the use of external senses. This explains that in perception, it is how we use our eyes, our mouth, on understanding a text. It focuses on the external or physical senses that we do have. It is simply perceive how we see the things. Number two is comprehension. It involves in reading by how the reader understand the text, and we all know what is reading comprehension, right? So it is how we understand the text we are reading, and this is so much important in reading. It is our ability to understand the written words. It is different from the ability to recognize words, because recognizing words on a page but not knowing what they mean does not fulfill the purpose or goal of reading, which is the comprehension. So, reaction 3 is reaction. So, a reaction involves in reading wherein the reader evaluates the text by which is being read. This focuses on the evaluation of what the student just read. It is a specific kind of task that asks you as a reader to engage critically on within as a assigned text. It is not asking what you not asking what who you to state whether you like it or dislike the text in question. Instead, a reading response should demonstrate the instructor that you have both read and understood the text, just like the reaction papers that we're making in different subjects right now. Commonly, it is like essays, analysis, or critique about a certain piece of writing. So, next is the different types of reading materials. First is the developmental. It is a scientifically prepared materials which aim at developing our reading skills. One of the example here is the educational books that were issued to us by the DepEds in the grade schools, elementary, or something like that in high school also. It is designed to help the struggling reader to develop mastery in areas of reading comprehension. Reading comprehension, vocabulary building, or study skills and media literacy, which are the courses that in the primary grades. So, doon yun siya na-encounter. 2 is the remedial. So, what is remedial? It is a specifically prepared to help learners overcome the reading difficulties. So, the remedial reading is a supplemental reading program that consists of rereading, uh, rereading unfamiliar text until a satisfactory level of fluency is reached. So, remedial reading is a strategy that implements or implements assisted reading or reading while listening and paired reading. So remedial reading is to dramatically reduce the number of students who have extreme difficulties in learning to read and write. So remedial reading is highly effective in a short-term intervention of tutoring struggling students in both individualized and small group settings. So, number three is the recreatory reading. So, recreatory, it is some material that provides the development of appreciation and enjoyment reading reading on materials. In here, it is also known as the recreational reading, free voluntary reading, and pleasure reading, or leisure reading, which is it is simply self-selected and independent reading of materials for personal and social purposes. So this is commonly to those people, especially who have the habit of reading, those people who consider reading as their relaxation and as a stress reliever. These materials can be in novels or any pieces of writings that we choose on our own and not the other people. Four is the functional reading, or it is for the development of comprehension and utilization of skills in areas of study. We have those specific areas of study. First is functional reading are critical for students spectrum and other disabilities. So reading is something that we need that needs to be used. Even students who are not book readers can often learn single sight words that can impact on their interdependence community. So it is an interpretation of materials that is designed to help the reader make something, do something that, or something that has direct bearing on the daily or everyday activities. These functional reading are reading that involves direction, assembly instruction, maps, schedules, menus, tables, newspapers, or labels like for food and mga ganon. So next topic is the purposes of a reading. What are the purposes of reading? Why do you read? What are the reasons why you read? So first is to search for simple information or to skim. So it is similarly. It is to scan the text for specific information. These two are combination of strategies to find the location of information and use a basic reading comprehension to obtain a general idea about the text. Next, another one is to learn from the text. This is commonly on educational books where we read to gain knowledge, understanding about a certain text, for us to get ideas about the things that we lack, or ideas that we need to learn. Next purpose is to integrate information. So, as the reader interpret and integrate, they are attempting to construct a more specific or more complete understanding of the text by integrating personal knowledge and experiences with meaning that resides within the text. So we do subside our thoughts ourselves to the text for us to relate with it. So next purpose is to write or search for information needed for writing. So this is very useful when we're doing a piece of writing, and we need a piece of writing, and we need some ideas from other authors, like research papers or thesis books na pinapagawa sa atin. You need to read about others' work for your RRL or review related literatures, or the things that might be needed to support your argument in a piece of writing. So next is to critic text, or to critic text. It is important because in order to write a good critic paper, you need to critically read That is, you need to closely read and understand whatever is your critiquing. You need to apply appropriate criteria in order to evaluate it, and you need to and summarize and also ultimately make some sort of point in your work. This helps to evaluate somebody's work. For example, is a book, an essay, a movie, or a painting. So, uh, for them to increase the reader's understanding of that specific piece of writing. So, lastly, is the general comprehension. Means understanding the general meaning of what you are listening or reading. It can be compared to selective comprehensions, which means that understanding a specific information in the text, and also in detailed comprehension, which means that understanding everything. So general comprehension is simply gating getting the overall ideas about a text. So that's it about the purposes of reading. So next is the reading strategies that we need to learn for us to read effectively, for us to understand effectively. First is, or the one is to specify your purposes in reading. Like what are your goals, why you read that certain books, that certain piece of writing. It is to get information or to learn. Your goals, your aims on reading that books. And next is the previewing. So before viewing, you make predictions on what may the text content is. You next and also you post question about it. Like examples is novels. For example, in novels, you think what could be the possible reasons why did the main character did that, and so on. So after that, you answer your post question, the question that you have in your mind. Like, okay, she did that because of something, mga ganon. So, another strategy is you pay attention to the structure of the text. So, text structure is the way the author itself organize information in the text. So recognizing the underlying structure of text can help you focus on key concepts and relationship, and also anticipate what is yet to come, what is coming. And also monitor the comprehensions as you are reading. So the other one is the rereading. Rereading is, of course, it means that we read the text again from its root word which is again. Especially if you're so inclined with a writing piece of ano, so you read it again and again. So next is the checking the comprehension. Of course, more importantly, you do not just read, but also you need to understand the text. You need to make meanings on the text that you are reading, because it is useless if you cannot understand what you are reading. So other one is the critiquing critiquing the author and also critiquing the text. So it is different from criticize, huh? In here, you describe a sense of the writer's or the author's overall purposes and intent, and also that is for the critiquing the author. And for the text, you analyze, you examine the structure and the language of the text convey its meaning. So you interpret and you state the significance or the importance of each part of the text. So other strategies that are other strategies that you need to know is judging how well objectives were met, and lastly, reflecting on what has been learned from the text. So these two, you do this after After you read the text, you evaluate if the goals or objectives were reached, or and also you reflect on what you have learned, and you apply and recognize what are the significant things that you get on that specific kind of text. So that's all and for my report, and thank you.